you're thinking about moving abroad, what are some of the essentials that you need to be able to thrive successfully while you're not living in your home country? Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me as I'm now on my ninth year in this nomad expat lifestyle. I'm on my fourth country, third continent in this Lusaka, Zambia, in the southern region of Africa. And what you're starting to see now on the channel is I'm actually sharing with you tips and tricks, things I've learned along this journey. And most importantly, if you're looking to get into the nomad expat lifestyle, or you're already one and thinking about relocating to a new country, why you should be considering Lusaka, Zambia as a feasible option. And one of the things I'm sharing with you is the good, the bad, and the ugly, because you need to be aware to be able to make a good decision so you're not regretting anything. So in this video, I want to actually talk about what are some of the things you will need, and these are need. You will need these things once you decide to leave your home country full time. Now, one of the things you're going to need is you need at least two cell phones. Two cell phones. And no, I'm not talking about getting two cell phones for the guys so you can be a player. We ain't talking about Kevin Gates, not his son, two phones. You really need two cell phones. And here's the reason why. And I'm not even talking about your main phone gets stolen. Like, I'm not even going to address that issue. What if your phone breaks? So this last week, both of my phones broke. I had a Doogie tough phone. It was one of those that was made to be rugged, so you can drop it, do extreme heat, all of that. And I had my Samsung S20 Ultra. And so both of those broke. My S20 Ultra, the original battery, one of the cells messed up or something, and the battery started to expand, which I was afraid that the phone was going to blow up because of the battery. Luckily, I was able to go get the battery replaced here, but they don't use the original parts. And like anything, once you put an aftermarket part on there, it's no guarantee that it's going to work correctly. And so the battery just mess up. Like, you can feel the battery moving around in there because it's not stable. It's not the right size. It's not the right capacity. And the phone just shuts off. And that phone was my best camera, everything. And then with my Doogie phone, now I'm dropping this phone on concrete. It's made it through the heat in Botswana. If you ever been to Maun, one of probably the hottest places on earth, it made it through there. And then last week, I was just walking to bed to go to sleep. I don't even know how I dropped it. Like this, it was so crazy. And as soon as it fell, I was like, shit, it broke. I picked it up, the whole liquid part of the screen messed up. I was able to see the left side of the screen. Even now, when I look at it, the whole screen is like this little piece of the screen that I can actually see. And guess what? It sucks. I did not want to buy a new phone yet because, I've been focused on land, getting land. And actually this weekend, hopefully, if things go well and the people are not busy, I'll be going to look at 85 hectares not far from and so I had to buy new phones. And I'm still actually having to buy a second phone. I was out looking today for an iPhone because I'm using Android right now, which is what I'm filming on. But I'm also going to go ahead and break down and buy an iPhone. I haven't had an iPhone since iPhone 2. And I didn't like iPhone. I still don't like iPhone. However, too many people I know utilize iPhone. And because of the way iPhone is integrated, it's simpler and easier for me to continue communications with people, even when I'm moving around. So like with my mom, my brothers, different people I know that utilize iPhones. And so I'm just going to go ahead and bite the bullet, buy an iPhone. However, the prices they were talking about today, I'm not willing to purchase. And the phone I went to go get originally, they sold it to someone else yesterday, wasting my time. So probably not going to use them again either. And I'll just go back to the drawing board and looking. So two cell phones is one of the things you want to do now. I'm going to share with you. I know I had a question of what am I filming with now because of the camera quality. So I'm actually shooting this video in 2K. The phone has built-in 2K capabilities, and it's the Infinix Hot 50 Pro. I don't know if they sell this brand in the United States. And I know it's a made in China brand, but this is the phone I'm using. So far, it is really good. 128 gigabyte space, 8 gigabyte RAM, which is good. Also, if you're getting a phone, if it's anything less than 8 gigabyte RAM, do not waste your time. It's going to be moving so slow. The operation system is going to be horrible. Just don't even do it. Once you do one update, that 4 gigabyte RAM is done. Um, and so you want to have two phones. Main reason is you need to back up everything, every single thing, all your passwords, all of your bank account apps, everything you're going to need access to, even your contacts and everything. Because let's say if your phone breaks to a point where you're not able to get the information off of there, how are you going to get back into your apps? How are you going to get back into unlocking certain passwords? How are you going to find people's numbers that you need? And you don't want to just be dependent on people calling you. Even now, because both of my phones broke at the same time, there's numbers missing in my phone. And I'm literally waiting for people to text me finally so I can actually get their numbers. And it sucks, man. It's not cool when you're without a phone. And you have to really think about it from this situation. Your phone is going to become your lifeline from here on out. There's no more just being able to run to the bank. Like none of those things exist anymore. And other thing is, some of your stuff that you may need to do, you will need to probably be able to call them or do it through the app that you're utilizing. And that's just the life that we live in now. We live in a digital era. And so please be mindful of that. Like if you don't take any of my advice, please take this one. At least have two cell phones. I actually personally usually have three. It's just right now with all of my electronics breaking down at once, and I'm a cheap person. I don't feel like spending all of that money. Like it's not even an investment at this point. I just don't even feel like spending the money on it. And so like I am going to get my second phone, and then I have to even buy purchase other things. The second thing that you want to actually make sure that you have also is if you're going to start getting into the travel spaces, you have to be mindful that some countries the infrastructures are not as great as others, especially like the electric grid and things like that. Like here in Zambia, the load shedding is improving. I can say that on my side from where I'm living, the load shedding has improved drastically. However, I know some other areas are still not having power as frequently as it's having here. So you need to be able to invest in some type of power bank or some type of UPS, which is just a little surge protector type battery thing that if the power goes, you can charge up a few things if you need some things charged up right now. So for me, I use two 60,000 watt power banks, and between those two, it can keep my phones charged for almost 3 days before it'll die out. So that is something you may want to consider also. And then outside of that, just remember the other thing that you want to do is just have fun. Well, actually, no. Let me say this: it's not have fun. The third thing that you want to do, and this is a little bit different, but please hear me on this: do not move to other countries looking to make friends. Move to other countries to make connections. It need to be about networking. Do not look for friends. I'm telling you right now. Looking for friends will get you in trouble. I've seen it in Panama. I've seen it in Colombia. This is one of the reasons, like while I was in South Africa, I was invited out a few times to meet up with different Americans and stuff, and I was like, no, thank you. I'm not here to meet Americans. And some people may have thought I was being an asshole, but the truth is, I'm here to make connections. I'm here to network with people in Africa. So building myself and aligning myself in a circle of just Americans or expats don't make any sense because we're all in the same boat as we're foreigners. I'm gonna tell you straight up, and I'm just being honest with you. Africa is a very loving country, very open country, continent. Africa is a very loving continent and a very loving place. However, you're still a foreigner. Just because you share the same pigmentation in the skin as they do, or you may have some ancestral roots to this continent, you're still not African at the end of the day. And what I mean by that is you're not the tribe that you're living around. You're not like I'm in Zambia, in Lusaka, Zambia. I don't speak Nyanja. I don't speak Bimba. I'm not any part of any of these tribes. I don't have any family here. I don't have any traditional rights here, meaning I don't have a lineage here. And you're going to be coming most likely with the same situation. So you need to be building networks. You don't need friends. I'm gonna tell you right now. I can count my number of friends on one hand, and I still have fingers left over. You need to be building network. It's about connecting. It's going to be connections that help save you money. It's going to be connections that help put you in front of different deals, not friendship. And so just be mindful of that. With connections and network, friendship can come a part of it, or even where you feel like family. I have people all throughout Africa in the southern region I consider friends and family. However, it started out as networking and connections. And you need to be very realistic of that because this is how you can get yourself taken advantage of. Because now, oh, we're friends. Let me help you out. Oh, you're gonna be taking care of some grown ass people. I'm telling you right now. Don't be coming here with that. Oh, I want to be friends. I'm in Africa. I love everybody. And it's not just Africa. It's everywhere in the world. You need to be focused on networking and building the proper connections. I learned that firsthand from Panama, living there for 3 years. And not saying that I met bad people, but you see people for who they are. And this is how bad it was at one point. Because when you start going to these people add you to groups, if they have group talk, group text and stuff like that, and it happened even in Colombia, meeting up with people from America, diasporans, whatever you want to call them. And everybody don't leave the country for the same reason, which I didn't, you know, there's no book on this. There's not many people out here openly talking about leaving their home country, what it's like, what to expect. So when I left in 2015, I don't think there was anybody on the internet doing that, at least that I knew of. And I didn't even know where to start searching for on YouTube. And that's one of the things that made me start doing the YouTube channel, plus going through my health journey and stuff like that. Um, but one of the things that was happening, you start seeing some guys are sex travelers. And I didn't know from the military, I knew that existed. However, I didn't know it was so deep within black men and black women. Like women do it too, guys. So I'm just gonna be honest with you. You go to Panama, you see women, and it's not just black women; it's all races, ethnicities, colors, everything. You see it everywhere. But like, I'm a black man, so that's the what I focus on. And so I was added into some groups that I didn't know about. I didn't know this. Remember, this is when I was first getting used to WhatsApp. People adding you stuff, and they can add you as long as they have your number. They can just add you into a group. And I didn't know how to exit nothing, and I didn't pay any attention to it because yeah, I thought I was saying intention. So I wasn't paying any attention to it because I didn't care. It was like I don't know who you are. Like I didn't really know WhatsApp at that time, so I wasn't using it like I do now on a normal basis. It wasn't a part of my life. I was still fresh from the United States. And, there we just called direct. You have 3 minutes. Like you don't have this prepaid anymore. There everything's unlimited. Or at least it was when I left. And so I was adding to a group, and then all of a sudden one day Cece was using my phone. And she was like, have you been watching? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Cece did use my phone, but she didn't go into my pictures. She was using the phone for something work related. I can't remember what we were doing. That was when we were starting to get into the digital marketing because we was doing our Zija business at the time. And so then after she used my phone, I went in there and I was looking for something on my phone and pictures. I think I was posting something on LinkedIn because that's where we were mainly doing our digital marketing is on LinkedIn. And then I kept seeing all these naked pictures, videos, this of women. And so like for me, I don't watch porn. It's not like it's a religious belief or anything. It's not my thing, to each their own. And so I asked, I was like, hey, will you use my phone for porn? At least go private so it don't just save all this stuff on there. Because at that time I was big on, the conspiracy theories of the government tracking me. And I was like, hey, were you using my phone for porn? And she was like, no, why would I do that when I have my own phone and computer? And then I'm looking, I'm like, where all this come from? And I'm showing her, and she's like, I don't know. You want to tell me something? Because we had a real good relationship, and we were open and honest and talk about everything. And I was like, yo, this ain't me. I was like, if it was me, I just admit it. But I'm like, this ain't me. And then I was looking, and then I figured it out, and I was like, it was downloads, but it was downloads from WhatsApp. And then I realized it was from that group that I was adding in that I didn't pay any attention to. And turned out a bunch of guys were just sharing their conquest through pre-pagos or prepaid or I don't even know what the other name is. I don't know, what would you call it in English minus the word sex worker, I guess, or prostitute. I don't even know if there's a word you can say anymore. 'Cause I know a lot of people get disrespected when you you tell them your belief of it. You trying to exchange your body for money with me, and I'm not interested in prostitution. And then they get an attitude. But we'll go there another day. Crazy stories, man. And so it turned out like the guys, and I'm like, so I text a buddy, and I'm like, yo, are you in this group, man? Like, what is this about? And he was an older gentleman that, mentored me a lot. And he was like, yeah, I was in there, man. These guys are just spreading this, spreading that. And I'm like, yo, this is some filthy work. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Because it's like, one thing is like, you can do whatever you want to do, but it's like, why are you showing it? And then you look at the comments, other men like, oh man, I'm gonna have to try this. I'm like, y'all are some filthy dudes. And we talking about these were some old heads. I'm like, y'all some filthy old dudes. I don't know, man. I just grew up on a man code. It's just certain things you don't do. You don't mess with your homies, girl. You don't sleep around your home. Let me not even go into that before this video get flagged. But make story short, it taught me don't just befriend anybody. You need to understand what people are about, and you need to see what benefit are they for you with networking. If there's no benefit from that you're getting for networking with them, you might need to just keep it as an acquaintance or someone that you socially see at a place, but do not let it be friendship. And I'm not just talking about the people in the new home country come to. I'm really mainly talking about it's going to be your fellow Americans that try to screw you over. I've seen people having to borrow money because they got too drunk and drunk all their money up for the month. I've seen people need to borrow money because they with some woman and they have no backbone and they spending all this money on this woman out of stupidity or love. I don't know what it is. I've seen people because of their lifestyle choices, they ended up getting drugged and now, oh, woe is me. Can you help me? I need help paying rent. I need help with this. I need help getting back to my home. I'm just telling you right now, man, don't think just because someone comes from the same home country as you, um, they're coming for the same reasons as you. I really, really do mean it. And I know I kind of rambled on this one, but I don't know a nicer way to say that than without being completely blunt. Like I'm trying to speak respectfully on it, but be careful. Be careful. It's not only going to be people in the new countries you go to that's going to try to look at you. Okay, let me say it this way. I think this might be a better way. There's a stigma with around the world, and this stigma even exists in the United States. So it's a world stigma that people who travel, especially if you're traveling from the United States or the UK, places like that, you're rich, you have money. And it's not only going to be people in the new country you go to, but it's going to be fellow travelers also from your home country that's going to try to take advantage of you because they just going to see like, oh, I know you got some money. And they're going to be counting your wallet and not know a clue or a damn what's in your wallet. Um, so just be cautious. Be cautious. Traveling should be fun. Traveling should be adventurous. Traveling should be making memories. You should not be bailing people out. Don't become no surrogate dad or mother to some grown ass person. And don't be helping out grown ass people who have horrible life decisions. It is their problem. It's not your problem. They need to go do some self work. They need to go do whatever they need to do to fix their life. And you giving them money is not going to fix their life. I know that sounds very harsh. I know it sounds very mean. Stop being nice. Stop being nice. Like I was taught, the acronym NICE means nothing inside of me cares enough. Stop being nice. You have never fixed anyone's problem by giving them money, and it's never going to start now. Just because you may have more money in another country, their problems are their problems. Your problems are your problems. Like, I'm telling you right now, and I'll give you this personal story. I even had a Yango driver, which is equivalent of an Uber driver, call me one day. Mind you, this guy just dropped me off one. Hey, I know you're the American I dropped out, blah, blah, blah. Can I borrow 1,000 kwacha? My tires went on flat. I hung up. I just hung the fuck up. Like, don't call me bothering me for money. I don't even know you. You're a grown ass man. Go be a grown man and figure it out. Go pick some mangoes, sell some mangoes. If you need to go do some yard work for somebody, you do what you need to do to get what you got to get. And I know that sounds mean, but you know what? It was my choice to make a sacrifice, to go into the military, which led me to war, to be able to have my military pension. How many other people, if they were given the same opportunity as me, would make that choice? I'm telling you right now, most people would never make that choice. Most people are not even willing to make the choice just to stop drinking one day to save a little bit of extra money. Some people are not even willing to make the choice just to stay at home and cook one day to save a little extra money. So we all make choices each and every day, and we all make sacrifices for the things that we truly want. And so you need to respect people for where they are in life, and also leave them where they are in life. It is not your job to uplift them. Please hear me on that. All of us have an unlimited amount of potential. However, very few of us choose to work towards that potential to be that person that is deep down inside of us. And I'm telling you right now, just because you're coming from another country with more money, you're not going to raise that person to their potential. It is their job. Only they can do it, and you cannot do anything to help them. So just remember that. I'm going to leave the video here. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below. If you're an experienced traveler, if you've been a nomad or you're an expat, let people know in the comments, man. Like, share some of your stories without giving names. And just share some of your stories, because sometimes people don't realize why I move the way I move. Like, when I tell people, I'm not here to meet Americans. I don't want to meet any Americans. If I meet some, cool, but even when I do meet Americans, I let them know, hey, I don't talk to too many Americans. I don't hang out with too many Americans. Someone may be your friend, that don't mean they got to be my friend. And that's just what that is. If I don't click with people, I'm not wasting my time. If I see our goals in life don't match up, I'm not wasting my time hanging out with you, spending time with you, talking to you, laughing with you, or sharing a meal with you. I'm just not. I have very, very limited time on this earth. And what I mean by limited time, even if I live 200-300 years, that's a very short time. Let's say if the earth really is 14 billion years old. 300 years is nothing. That's not even 1% of the time this earth's been around. And so for me, time is short. And I do not have any more time to waste on people who are not enlightening me, fulfilling me, and bringing things to me that can help me be a better version of Jason. If someone isn't uplifting you, don't waste your time with them. But definitely, if you're a traveler or an experienced expat, nomad who's been living abroad, let people know in the comments, man. We need to start sharing these stories. We can't just keep sharing all the good. Like, oh man, this, oh man, that. It's some horror stories out there. Some things I don't talk about because I don't want to be giving people personal information. But if I can do vague things like I just told with the stories in Colombia and Panama, I do give those stories. And just remember, I'm going to just end the video here because I'm about to hit 25 minutes. And just remember this, I'm Jason, and success is simple.